Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Nelson, you're watching Nature Nell. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Even Morris, my cat from next door, is stopping by. He literally just walked in. So anyways guys, we have a very special part 2. Come here Morris, come say hi to your fans. You haven't been here in a while. Morris. Well, I wanted to carry him and show him because I know a lot of you guys from way back in the day remember him, the yellow tabby from next door, and you guys have been asking for him. And he doesn't come often here because of my other cats, but lately he's been doing the rounds and he's right there, but he doesn't want to come inside. Anyways, moving further on, today is a beautiful haul from Krull-Smith, my beautiful family in Apopka, with some of the most incredible orchids. Now there is some stuff here that I have mixed only because they're gifts. They're not necessarily from Krull-Smith, so I will point that out. But I also want to show some gifts that are beyond the orchids, plus some things that I already mounted. So let's get started because there's a lot of content to cover. And unfortunately, a lot of the flowers are going, but I filmed everything. So what I don't have here, I will show you guys in film. Let's start with, of course, the pink elephant in the room. This is a gorgeous cattleya that they had over at Krull-Smith, that when I saw this beauty up, I think my light's about to go. When I saw this beauty up on the shelf, it was a showstopper. Everybody had to grab one. Now, I will put a video of the actual fresh flower. I know that now it's kind of dead, but let me give you the name first. It's an easy name to remember. Prison palette. It's a pyloric. As you can see, it has three sepals that look like the lip. I believe these are the sepal. I always mistake sepal and petals. I'll get it someday. Still working on that. I know, 5 years later. But anyways, this is a gorgeous flower with one of the most delicious fragrances. And me and the girls had to each get one of these. I think even Blanca got one. Blanca hasn't really been buying a lot of orchids, but when she does, she gets things like this that are special. So this is one that they just brought out at Krull-Smith. And I really, really, really am happy that I was able to get it, because this is one of those colors. Not that it looks like it, but it gives me the same feel as the Julie Splash. If you guys seen that mutated cattleya that's all white, it only comes out like that, mutated, and it's 1 in a million, I guess. So if you can get your hands on one, those are good. Now this one, I'm going to try to keep in the order that I have it here, because this, as you guys can see, I changed my look as far as how I'm presenting. It's just that I'm having trouble with the light and the sun being right into the camera. Nothing looks clear. My skin looks washed out. The colors look washed out. So I figure let's start super early, even though we have a lot of ranch and farm noises happening right now, but at least we have good lighting. Now, as you guys know, Melissa and I have gone into this foul rage, which for me, this is probably like the 3rd time that I go through this. As you guys have seen in my past videos, I go through novelty foul moments. And it's just that they're not hard to keep, and they're small. They don't take a lot of space up. That's the name of this beautiful avatar, Phalaenopsis. They don't take a lot of space. It's a small plant. It blooms most of the time. They bloom year round. They're not like a 1 year time. Some of them, like the species, yeah, they may be, but most of the hybrids still bloom more often than not. And they give you multiple blooms. The colors are gorgeous and saturated. And the best part of all is that 9 out of 10, they all come with a very strong fragrance. Now this one here in the front, I'm just gonna keep bringing them here because why go all the way to the back? This was something I really wanted. Check this out. It's a yellow pastel pink. It's almost like a cerulean because these just opened. So when they get older, see, it gets more cerulean. So as they open, they're really like a limey yellow and a pinkish cerulean. but then they get really cerulean. And I saw this at Flamingo Gardens when I went this past month at the Krull-Smith. Oh, she is stuck in there. Oh no, it's that they put it in a hold on, they had it, is that the name? That's probably not even the tag. Oh, I cannot believe they don't have the tag name, because you know they didn't have many of these. I'm gonna put the, oh, here we go. There we go. Hiromi Nishii, I guess that's how you say it. But anyways, I saw this and I had asked Julian, oh, you know, I didn't buy it. Do you think it'll still be there? And when we checked the following day at Flamingo Gardens, exactly at 9 o'clock in the morning, they were gone. Once I put them out on blast, people were there buying it. So I said, you know, I should have separated at least one for me, but I never do that. I always show you guys. And honestly, I really do want you guys to have the opportunity to buy it. You know, that's why I do all the pre-shows and all this kind of stuff, so you guys get first bid on those orchids. You know, through watching my episodes and my channels, you see what they have before anybody sees it. But when I'm filming, I honestly am not in I can't get in the mood of shopping. I try sometimes and I'll hold one here and there, but it's once I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. You know, it's to make these videos, your brain has to be working in split motion, right? You have to be showing something and speaking at the same time, and educating and at the same time saying hello to people and all that kind of stuff. So your brain has to really split itself. So the last thing I want to do at that moment is shop. so this is one that was a beautiful comeback for me, because I had told Julian, I'm so sad I couldn't get that Cattleya. It's just so spectacular. And he's like, you know what, I think we have some more, let me see. And he found this one. They had this one, and I'm so happy. Thank you, Julian, for holding this one for me. But then Wendy, my backup girls, we look like we're in a band since gala night. She wanted one really bad too, because she was with me over at Flamingo, so I felt like obliged that I had to find one. So somehow, some way, in my search, you know, walking and searching at the Krull-Smith, I found one that wasn't blooming, but it had like, I think 1 or 2 buds that were just starting to open. And I told Julian, I gotta take this for Wendy. He goes, oh, you got another one? I go, yeah, I found another one. So guys, keep checking with them, because they may find that place is a world of orchids. And if it's not in the section that they may have it in another section that they didn't know of, and boom, you get your orchid. So this is proof of that. Sorry that I took long with this one, but it was deserving of it. Now this one, unfortunately, the flowers did fall. This was another one that Mr. Julian, when I was doing the little tour with him on the pre-show, he told me, when you get a chance, grab one of those, because that flower is really beautiful. And I really did love the flower, and of course I filmed it, so you'll see it right there. I'll put it in the inset. It's a gorgeous flower. The colors were super intense. It was like this fuchsia with pink that was extremely intense. It gave me what I like to call the avatar colors. Now this tiny little princess, there was only 2 that I saw like this. Now here's what happens, and you know, I'm sorry that I'm cutting my head off. It's just that I don't want to get away from that. What happened with these were that there's so many beautiful novelty phals, and there's so many beautiful orchids in that space, that something like this singled out, you would say, wow, what a spectacular flower. But when you put it in a sea of beauty, this gets overlooked, and it got overlooked all weekend. Now I did separate one immediately, because I thought this is very special. No one, even Blanca, I said, what do you think? She was like, her game phase is horrible. She has no game phase. She's like, I go, you like it, but you don't love it. She goes, yeah. But then once everything, the dust settled down, and people started, like, they already got saturated, they started seeing this and saying, wow, that's a really beautiful fowl. And so it's already on its way. As you can see, little spots going out. There was only one left, I don't know if Wendy took it. I think Wendy wanted one, and I told her, listen, there's only one, and it's super, super, super adorable. Princess Sakura. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me do it like this. So anyways, again, novelty fowl, had to have it. And guys, if you guys, I'm trying to, sorry, I don't want to lose these tags. These, sometimes what a lot of the vendors do, and a lot of, especially Frank and Pam and other major orchid places that have fairs, they have a lot of invited vendors. Sometimes what they do when the international vendors have to go back to their country and they have leftover merchandise, Frank is very generous. He usually helps the vendors, and he will help them clean up some of their merchandise, so they don't have to fly back with all that stuff, and in return he sells it back. Great business concept, brilliant. He's not the only one that does it. A lot of people do it. It helps both the vendor, it helps them, and this actually comes from Joseph Wu. So if you guys don't find it at Krull-Smith, you can find it at Joseph Wu. Okay, and he's a staple over at Frank Smith shows, and also at all the international shows, and also in my greenhouse. I have a lot of Joseph Wu's. Now this, shine bright like a diamond. I'm trying not to see how the sun is already starting to shift, because the morning is turning into afternoon. Actually it's like 10 o'clock now, but it'll start wiping out. Now these flowers, as you can see guys, they are so done, but I did film it in its glory. But let me give you the name first. I honestly didn't think they were going to sell me this. I took a chance. Take a chance on this. Hold on. Oh, these little, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do this. I don't like to do this, but I'm going to have to do this. Remove it. Because it's just in a really bad spot. And I'm not going to type all that stuff. So it has SVO. If you guys saw my my video on Krull-Smith, I did cover SVO, Carlos from SVO from California. He's awesome. Spent the weekend over there, over at the gala, and everything was really beautiful. So anyways, I'm showing you guys the beautiful, majestic Cattleya when I got it. It's a Cerulean. I honestly didn't think Mr. Julian was gonna tell me it was available, but apparently it was, and it had a sticker price, so that's why I picked it up. I said, well, it has a sticker price, it must be for sale. Now this one is not mine. This one is Terry's. She did a little, since she couldn't go this time around, when I did the pre-show, I showcased this one, and she took a screenshot and she goes, this is all I want. She sent a picture, so I surprised her. She already knows I got it for her. Unfortunately the flower fell, but it is a gorgeous plant. These $65, and this one, the flower, oh my god, it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think if I stand corrected, I think this was the only one that had a bloom. I don't think the other ones even had buds yet, but this is the only one that had a bloom, so I was able to see the flower. It was absolutely stunning. It looked like an avatar color flower. So as you guys can see, this whole weekend, this whole celebration weekend had a lot to do with these avatar, fluorescent, cerulean colors, fuchsias. For some reason I gravitated a lot to those colors. Now I'm gonna go now into all my birthday gifts, because it was, oh wait, no, not just Krull-Smith. Speaking of the vendors, and besides, I still have more Krull-Smith. I forgot they're hanging. This gorgeousness right here, which I already pseudo put it on this cone to show you how it's going to be. I still have to put moss in it, but I got inspired by the sample that they had at Krull-Smith, and they had 3 like this in a basket with Spanish moss, and it looked gorgeous. This is a beautiful fowl that has one of the most incredible fragrance. Now I think the tag, here it is. The tags are like so deep in there. one did have it. And like I said, this one comes from another vendor, Maidenland Cherry Wilson Orchids. If you guys know, you know. I'm sorry, my hands are all dirty. I've been working in the garden since early this morning. So anyway, this is another one I think that they purchased, and lo and behold, I'm so glad they did. It is a beautiful, oh, that fragrance. You know what it smells like, guys? If you open a box of Fruit Loops, you know, the cereal. Oh, it's a box of Fruit Loops. I want to eat it. But anyway, and I don't eat Fruit Loops, but I love that fragrance. It's very delicious, very fruity. But anyways, I am doing this, got stuck, this gorgeousness on this. I've had this cone. So I haven't done the mounting yet because I want to wait to see if I can film it. If I do the mounting, I may do it for my members. Sorry guys, it's just I haven't posted anything for my members lately, and I think it's only fair that I do. So if I do this, I am going to do some mounting for the general public, but maybe this one will be for the members. It's it's spag moss only mount, but I'm going to screen it inside and show you the right direction, because you know we can't just put the phals in there. They're in the right direction. I actually place them like that. Wherever the phal points outwards, that's where you want to put it out, because if you do it the other way around, it's going to fight. So you want to do it where it grows this way, and that way the flowers will start shooting out like a bouquet. All right, so now this was not from Krull-Smith, but it was from one of his vendors, from one of the vendors that visited Afro Orchids. I haven't gotten anything from Afro Orchids in a long time, so I really loved what they had there. Hey buddy, he's playing under my legs. And I loved this Cattleya. It was so bubblegummy, and he was telling me that when they get bigger, they definitely give you a lot more. Let me see where I put the tag. I'm trying to think if oh no, you know what? This one didn't have a tag, but I did get the name from him, so I'll put it under there. But let me show you the flower, a photo of the flower. Gorgeous. It's a gorgeous flower. Actually, I paid $35, and they come in these little bags. See, there's a now, guys, don't laugh, okay? There's hope. I know it looks like a stick with 2 dry leaves. I get it. But I'm gonna work it into this. That becomes this. Unfortunately, it did have buds, but with the transfer and everything, it just... So what I did was, let me give you the name. Oh, I realized I stapled it. Do you see it there? Let me see. There we go. Now I put it in one of my tamarind branches, which, I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus. Here, that's better. Tamarind branches, and it looks healthy. You know, the cane looks really healthy. This is still green, and it is shooting. If you guys see, it's shooting a new bud. So since now it's in my environment, it might bloom, and I can't wait to see this dried stick turn into that. All right, now we talk about gifts.
Happy birthday!
I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. But you know what, girls? You know me already. I'm gonna try to remember who gave me what. I know for a fact that Wendy gave me this one, the Triumphant. I fell in love with this. So she says, I need to give you a gift for your anniversary and for your birthday. So I think this is for my anniversary. Gorgeous. She goes, you need to have one of these and look at. I always tell you guys, get something with new growth, right? Look through your plants, make sure that the bulbs look clean, everything looks clean, impeccable, the roots, and you want to see possible new roots growing out plus new growth. That's a healthy plant. That's how you look at a plant and you say, okay, this one's ready to go home with me. Now, here's where I start getting in trouble. I believe this was Melissa. And it's already in a little pot. Look, Mel, I put it in a pot like you like to do. Bring it home and put it in a pot already. I had to. It was already growing out of the pot. It was tipping over, had no way of sitting up. It had beautiful flowers. I will show you. Here's the name. It's kind of rubbed off a little bit. So I really love the colors on these, and Melissa didn't know what to get me. And Wendy knew that I liked this, and Wendy goes, here, get him this. So thank you both for this beautiful gift. What is Louis doing? He's like hammering stuff. He's always hammering something in the back. Now this one, okay. So yes, I think I got him all right. Princess Clemente. Wendy got me this one. Another amazing. Now you guys want to see something? Look at this. Do you think she's ready to repot? That's how the other one was. This is ridiculous. So I may repot her. I don't know. I think this is, it has new growth, as you can see right there. Ooh, there. New growth. Obviously, lots of new roots. And so this one, I'm going to probably pot in here. If not here, I'm going to mount it. Because as you guys can see, I'm mounting a lot lately because it makes it a lot easier. I'm going through the jungle. Oh my God. All right, we're almost done, believe it or not. Now we're gonna go into beyond the orchids. This I got. I didn't get a Krull-Smith, but I did forget to feature it in my part one. So it's not that I forgot. For some reason, I thought it went well with this part of the haul, because I have things that are non-orchid related. Even though this is orchid related, this is Forever Blooms. She creates these amazing. Now with the light, it kind of looks a little here. There, it's better. She does these amazing flower, acrylic flowers. Now there is a lot of people doing acrylic flower art now, and what I like is that they're coming up with different ideas. I think it was Natalia, the idea that she should make these and put them on driftwood and create like a jungle of these, because I haven't seen it done like that. But like this, in this little frame with this little plastic in my bedroom, is going to be perfect. And you could actually open it. I don't like to do it too much because, you know, you can damage the plastic. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I know what's going to happen. Let's just keep it like that and enjoy it for what it is. Hey, gorgeous. So if you guys saw my video over at Pam's What's in Bloom, this is her info. I don't know if you can, and it's, but anyway, she has great stuff, and I told her I have to own one of your things. So of course these were her biggest ones, and I said it'll look good in my music room. All right, now this gorgeous shirt that I'm wearing, the Orchid Whisperer. This was a birthday gift from none other than Sal and his beautiful wife, Judy. Thank you guys. Now you can see how it fits. Fits very well and comfy. I love it. I normally wear just black when I do a haul, but this is black. I don't mind these flowers, you know, it's not obstructing anything, but it's so pretty. It's a beautiful shirt. So I decided to wear it to honor the whole presentation. And then this one is also from Sal. This was something they just wanted to get along the way. They went to, I was at Krull-Smith and they went to Pam's and then they went to Krull-Smith and they said, hey, listen to this, look at this and look at the color of this petal. He goes, look at this red on this petal. We thought of you when we saw it. Now, I don't know if it's because he saw me showcase it on a video because I've been showcasing these. Now, these are your standard dendrobiums, but this deep red, that's not standard. Not to me. It is so beautiful. Look at that, guys. How beautiful that red is. Really, really beautiful. And it's doing so well. So I always, sorry, almost forgot. Black Jelly. Perfect name, right? Now, let's talk a little education now. When you guys create these mounts, which I'm going to start doing now. I hadn't done it in a while, but I should continue doing it. There's many things you need to do. Number one, you have to think of moisture, right? You have to think of how much moisture that plant needs. Now, this is a Cattleya. Cattleyas need some moisture, but not overwhelming. I have the sun right next to my face. Need some moisture. So, you got to be very careful on how much moisture, even on a mount, you put, because I have destroyed Cattleyas on mounts because I put spag moss. I put no spag moss. This is directly root to branch. Now, this is a tamarind branch. There's some type of magic in this branch. Honestly, I don't know what it is that causes the roots to immediately start adhering to the bark. Like, seriously, within a month or two, I'm going to start seeing the roots climbing. It's that quick. But Spanish moss is the perfect moisture retainer because it doesn't keep the moisture there for hours. It just keeps it enough to help the orchid deliver all that nutrient into the leaves, to keep the leaves firm. And I find it to be the best, for me, the best for outdoor orchid keeping, to keep your roots protected. Now, with that said, you're gonna need to fertilize this. So what is the best way to fertilize this? Little sachet bag right above. Now, this is not a sachet bag, but it looks like one. I have the neutral coat in here. You get them, and you can get them at Amazon. You can get them at Ophi's if you're there. They're little sachet bags. They're like netted. They keep the beads inside. This is neutral coat 1868. You can use that, or the one I like to use. I get this at Ophi's. Now, I've had this for a while, so I hope they still carry this. And what you do is you put some in a bag and you staple it, like, let's say right there, where I know it's going to run through the roots. And it's going to constantly get fertilized in a very gentle way, helping that orchid to acclimate, root, and establish itself as soon as possible. So that's one thing when you're doing mounts. Now, the other thing is, where do we get the Spanish moss? Because we go to places where they sell them and they're $25 a little strip like this. If you have a big greenhouse like I do, and a lot of people in Florida nowadays are starting, it's like a big hobby now that people are really embracing, is to have greenhouses. At least most of my friends that collect plants now have a greenhouse, even a little one. You need to have more Spanish moss, right, to keep everything, you know, first of all, aesthetically it looks beautiful, and it serves a purpose. So do we collect Spanish moss? The big question, yes or no. Is it ethical? Is it unethical? Is it good for your plants? Is it bad for your plants? And the answer is yes. They're all yes. It's unethical to go out to trees in nature and start pulling things that are growing that you don't know the beneficial value to that synergistic relationship that the tree has with the moss, right? So if you don't know why that happens, there's a reason for it. And apparently the trees are happy, and so is the moss. So don't collect in the wild. That's how I feel, because you may disturb it. And this is why. One person, not a big deal. Two people, not a big deal. When everybody starts doing it, now we have a problem. Now we have what they call a parasite because it's destroying everything. So here's what, there's always a way that you can, or should I say, there's always a way you can find to do things ethically and still get the benefits of it, right? So I started asking around in Apopka, because you see Spanish moss everywhere. And I mean, loads of it, chunks of it, just swaying. It's beautiful. I showed it in my video, which is another reason why people start disturbing that, you know. And I've been guilty of that. I've grabbed a little bit here and there. I've done it, but I'm not doing that anymore. I spoke to some of the guys over there and I said, is it bad to pick at the Spanish moss? And they said, well, if you're picking it from the ground, no, because once it lands on the grass, it dies off. So if you pick it from the ground, you take it home, and you keep watering, you're actually doing something good for the Spanish moss because you're keeping it alive. But don't pick from the trees because, you know, that's part of the typography here and things like that. And I said, I get that. And I said, so if you pick from the ground, don't you pick other bugs and things like that? And he says, well, anything you introduce into your greenhouse needs to be cleaned out first. So I decided to grab a little box and start picking on the grass. There was so much wind. Anywhere you drove in Apopka, guys, like on the side of the road. Apopka's a beautiful town, very clean, very manicured, which I love. And I could just drive on the side of the road and see the grass that's growing there, and you see patches of the Spanish moss when the wind blows it. So if you see it like that, and it's not private property and it's out, you know, in the open, yeah, sure, you're cleaning the city up. So you're taking it, but do yourself a favor. Get home, water it really well, spray it with orthene, and let it sit in the sun. And I'll show you. Here's my little bundle that I took. I used a couple for my plants already. And I ended up spraying this with orthene, watering it, putting it in the sun. And if you want to be sure again, like 4 days later, lightly spray it again with orthene, just to make sure. Now, I did look through all this. If not, I wouldn't be holding it like this. I did look through all of this, and there's nothing, like nothing. This is really, really clean. So that is the only way you can do this. If you're cleaning up the road, if you're cleaning up the grass, if you're at a friend's house, like some of this came from a friend's house that lives nearby as well. So I took some from their grass. I discovered that back here, one of our neighbor's tree, for some reason, grows a bunch of this. And he told me, if you want, grab some. But the thing is, they're all on the tree and not a lot on the floor. And so I told him, you know what? No, leave it like that. If they fall on the floor, just put them in a box for me and give them to me. So that's what I'm going to start doing. As long as they're nice and plushy like this and green and healthy, you can use them for your plants. Now, unless there's a law that says you can't even touch them from the grass, trust me, I asked several people before. I don't want to be in trouble, especially me. I have a channel, you know, I can't put myself out at risk like that. I asked a lot of people and they're like, yeah, you can pick it up from the ground. Just don't go picking it from the tree unless it's your own home and your own tree, but don't go picking on people's trees. So guys, if you see these laying in the ground and it's not private property, you can take it with you. It's just, they call it garden junk. But yeah, I asked first because I always see, every time I go, I see all that Spanish moss, and the temptation is there, but I'm like, I would never start grabbing from the trees and get in trouble and go to jail for Spanish moss stealing. But anyways, I said, you know what, I'm gonna nip this in the bud. I'm gonna ask and see what are the do's and don'ts. And they said, well, as long as they're in the ground, yes. Trees, no. And then main thing is spray with your orthene and rinse with water. If I do hear any further information on that, guys, trust me, I will be the first to tell you. Not even the ground. But for now, everything seems to be okay. So that was my educational part that I wanted to share with you, because I always told you guys, whatever I learn, I will teach to you guys. I'm not an expert in any of these things. I just learn as I go and learn as I grow, right? That's what I've been saying since the beginning of the channel. So that's one of the things that I learned over the weekend. I even told Melissa, because Melissa's been dying for Spanish moss, and I said, you know, let's just find out and see exactly what the do's and don'ts are of Spanish moss, because it is a beautiful thing, and it grows everywhere. I mean, everywhere, guys. You look at people's homes and you see it like in the water ducts. It grows everywhere. All right, I think we are done. We are absolutely done with the haul. Guys, I can't believe I started wrapping it up, and at the very end I was leaving one item for the very end because it is extremely special to me, and for some reason I went rattling on and on and on and on about the Spanish moss, and I forgot my last but definitely not least, and I left it last because I want to show you it became sort of like a gift basket. Let me move this around so that way I have a place to put it in. This was from my friend Blanca and her beautiful scented Diva candles that I am obsessed with. I told her my house, my signature fragrance in my house is either bourbon or coconut bamboo. But anyways, for my birthday, she says, you know, I always give you an orchid. I have to lower down because I had taken the camera down. I had to start all over. I'm like, I can't believe the one thing I left for last to just showcase it all, and it happens, guys. It's a lot. But anyways, Blanca gave me this beautiful gift bag, and normally she always says, I always give you an orchid. I want to give you some, or a candle. Let me give you something else. And I'm like, whatever you want. You know, it's a coffee, whatever, whatever your heart desires. So of course, she said, you don't have the room fragrance. So one thing you never gotten, which is this one. Of course, cocoa bamboo. And guys, I cannot spray it for you guys to smell. I wish I could. But this is, or let me do how they do on the influencers. It is so good. It smells so good. And if you get the car freshener, which I have, I may take some of this. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to ask Blanca and pour it in the old container. I mean, it may work, but I don't. I think that one has more oils. And then she kept on throwing things in. She goes, how's your car freshener? And I said, oh, it literally just finished. So she gave me another one. And then every time I would go back there or look in the bag, had more stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, don't worry about it. So she made these new room fresheners. I have two of her older ones. When I mean older, I mean the design of the bottle. This is with her same fragrance, but look how beautiful her labels are. Like, Blanca, you are truly the scented diva. That is beautiful, and the casing and everything is just so elegant. But you know what, I don't expect anything less from Blanca, honestly. That woman is a boss. She does so much. She's like non-stop doing projects, and she's good at all of them. Which is great, because one thing is to be, you know, jack of all trade but not be good at it. But if you're jack of all trade and you're good at it, so it comes with these. The flower got a little bit squished, but it comes with these little scented sticks that you put inside. It looks really pretty when you put it in your bathroom. It looks very elegant. And then, of course, she says you have to have a candle, so she got me the bourbon, which is the one I love. And look at the glass, you guys. And this goes click, 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 click. This is so good. I told her I would love to bathe in this like a soap. I said, if you ever make soaps, make bourbon soap. It would be so delicious. So that is it. Now we really finished the haul. That is the complete of the haul. Now I'm gonna connect the original ending to this. No more haul. We're done, part 2. You guys have no idea what I've gone through to bring you this haul. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of work. Good stuff, but it's been a lot. And as I told you guys, I haven't been really going in every day to work. I'm trying to transition my job in the future to work smarter, not harder, and kind of give more time to the channel, because I'm really enjoying all the things that are happening. I'm enjoying all the new content to the point where I have so much content that I don't have enough time. And that's a good thing. You know, it's when you start running out of content that is a bad thing for any channel. So I'm trying to do things the smart way and trying to give you guys more. I go a lot by what you guys suggest. You know, if my videos are too long or they're too short, or I go by the popular request, right? Because some of you may come up to me and say, oh, they're a little bit long. And then I hear from more of you say they're too short. So I have to balance, you know, the majority rules, and then kind of add things for those who don't want it like that way. So if 80% want longer and 20% want shorter, then 80% of my videos are going to be longer. And then I'll do like a 20% that are shorter. That's the only way I can gauge it, you know, without going crazy, because I am a one-man show. I don't have help from anybody doing my channel. I am the only one that touches everything on my channel. The only help I get is from my friends when I'm out and about. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. We have the big show coming up at the Rare Plant Show, May 1st, over with Bart Motes and the gang. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I will bring you a pre-show, and I most likely will be there, I think, Thursday for sure. I don't know the other days. Most likely Saturday, maybe Sunday, but I'll keep you guys informed. So until next time, I'm Nelson, the Orchid Whisperer. You're watching Nature Nell, and remember to always, always keep it green. I will see you in the next episode. He let me grab him for you guys that actually stuck around. Here's Morris. If you guys got to see Morris, put it in the chat. I want to see how many of you got to see it. Say hi, Morris. Bye.